All right, welcome one and all. Tarqaron, it's starting. All right, it's me, Zach. I'm joined with Alec, as well as Cole.
What do you
What's
mean? Is
going on,
this hey?
guys?
Is this hey? Listen, what are you talking about?
Hey, listen. Hi, guys. This is Cole and Zach, and this is Hey Listen, a video game podcast.
We're gonna be doing a prank call, right?
We're gonna be really adding some
I'm gonna
resonance
go
to our voices for this one.
falling flat, man. No drama, man. We gotta just go into it full force, okay? No, I don't want to hear any bitter talk.
Well, we gotta set up some background because this is like the first Nintendo Direct in 500-ish days.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Unbelievable.
wild. That's wild. That's what. No, honestly, like they had all these little Nintendo Direct minis and their little partner showcases or whatever, for a year, and then boom, all of a sudden yesterday they're like, "Hey, Nintendo Direct, it's happening."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So everyone starts making wild, frenzied predictions, which are never going to come true, and then everyone's butthurt that they're all incorrect.
A lot of butts hurt.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting
hurts.
over here, and I enjoyed the entire Direct. They had something for everybody. It was great, especially for me. I had a really good time. I really liked the Direct a lot. I thought it was very good. Yeah, I thought it was great. It's a welcome return.
Cole had a different perspective.
Me and Zach are like, nah, fam.
It's
I
all
don't
right.
think so.
It was all right.
It was all right.
Yeah, I mean, here's the
I
thing.
would say 95% of this Direct were remakes and like, let's bring this to Switch, let's bring this to Switch. There were a couple of new things in there, but not much. But I mean, having been a Direct that has been this long since the last Direct, I was expecting a little something more, but it's all right.
But that's the thing, is that when I don't even remember when a Nintendo Direct was like, oh my gosh, the most crazy reveals. Like there's usually like one reveal that gets people in a frenzy, but there's never in the history of the whole format, there's rarely been like that many huge showstoppers. A lot of it is like, oh, that's a nice little announcement, and oh, that's a cool announcement, or no, that's not really for me, but yeah, whatever.
I would say that this Direct was all just, that was a nice thing though. There wasn't any showstopper for me.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, like I hazard to say that there was like well, no, that's not true. The what was it called? Project Triangle Strategy. Yeah, that was awesome.
That actually looked awesome. I thought that was.
Yeah, Octopath Traveler
so cool.
is one of the best RPGs like that you can play right now. The fact that they're doing like a tactical version using that art style, like
there's some cool stuff
sold.
in there that's like, I mean, you never really see with that kind of game. Like there were like critical decisions. You have like decisions to make, and then you have a vote that you do, and you can rally your allies to try to influence their votes on decisions.
Yeah, well, to me, it came off. It's almost like a next-gen version of Final Fantasy Tactics, and I mean that's something that I've been wanting for. I couldn't even tell you how long.
They
since
haven't really
Tactics A2 on the DS.
Yeah, they haven't really had. I think there's something on mobile. I don't really know if it's a port or what it is exactly.
It's a port. Yeah, that's the thing. I tried it out. Just the port, which is still fine, but we needed something new so bad, just like this, because Fire Emblem's awesome, but it's just such a different kind of game. The genre is almost different from Tactics.
Yeah, I mean, I just loved it. I mean, it straight up looked like Final Fantasy Tactics, just using that art style. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. I'm totally down for that. Thought that was so cool. So, I was like, that to me was like, heck yeah, I'm all for that.
So they started it with the Smash character reveal, which
I thought was great. Huge fan of that too, because it's like, oh, yet another sword character. But
that one threw me off for a loop too. I gotta say, I totally thought that was Xenoblade 3.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be another DLC like chapter or something for Xenoblade 2. So I thought that was just like,
well, yeah, I was just thinking when that came up, I was like, oh, with the way they structure the Smash character reveals, they kind of did themselves in to where they always started the same way. So there's no big surprise when you get into the character reveal. I was just thinking that, and then they didn't start it with the thing, and it turned out to be Smash. I was like, oh, there you go. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, I thought it was great having Ira and Mithra.
I know nothing about Xenoblade 2, so I don't know how that Pyra Mithra thing works. But
so in Xenoblade 2, I've actually never played the game, which is wild. I haven't played a Xenoblade game. I know that's weird. But essentially, Rex has basically the different his weapons, or I think they're called blades, or he might be a blade. I don't remember exactly how it works, what the terminology is, but they're basically like the spirits that he can use that come out of his sword that like fight in battles with him. So there is like character swapping with those characters, and those are like the most significant two, easily the most popular two. I think you can probably guess why. Your big anime waifu girls with boobs. Yeah,
breasts.
Pretty great.
Breasts.
Yeah, and so having them both in the game like as like a swap character thing, I think that's really awesome. I thought that was they don't have enough systems kind of like that in Smash Brothers, so I think it's a unique kind of yet another unique sort of system at play.
Yeah,
which
it's
I think
kind of
is
hot.
fun.
the weebs are just creaming.
Oh yeah,
their shorts.
I was like, ah! I was so excited. Yeah, I was very excited about it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that excited. Yeah.
But I just want to see our moveset. That's all I care about.
Okay, well, we'll probably get that with Sakurai later this month.
You know, another thing I'm actually excited for, which I'm sure no one else is the release of some classic Famicom Detective Club games.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I am. I saw that and I was like, this about time. Those are actually
pretty interesting.
Those were actually kind of
I didn't know about them, but they seem right up my alley.
Okay. Those were actually kind of revolutionary for the time, because I think those were like some of the first like visual novels that they ever put on like a home console. So those were like a big deal back in the day. So yeah, I think it's really cool. They made them the updates to the visuals are like incredible. Because usually they just use stills in a lot of visual novels, but I loved all the like moving, like it looked like a somewhat stilted, but it was a very, very nice visuals for a visual novel. Like a lot of moving character portraits and stuff. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah. All right. So how are you feeling about Mario Golf Super Rush?
That was, I think safe to say is probably my favorite announcement of the whole thing.
Wow. Really? Yeah. Huh. Well, that shocked me.
Yeah. Because I just think I've been jonesing for a Mario Golf for a while. I think there was one of the 3DS that I never heard about. Like
I'm pretty sure it was Mario terrible. Tennis. It's notorious.
There was a Mario Tennis, but I thought
there was golf too.
There was a golf, and I know I didn't know about it until I looked it up, and I was like, there was a Mario Golf game on the 3DS. Why did I never hear about this? Yeah, I guess it was terrible. I think that's probably why.
Yep.
We'll see. But I got that vibe from this that like. I felt like if they really went all in on this game, they wouldn't have revealed it like the way they did. I thought they could have built it up a little bit more. It would have been hype for some people, but they just kind of dropped it in there. Mario's playing golf. It's like, oh.
I didn't think they dropped it in. It was a pretty nice long trailer. It was like 3 minutes long.
Yeah, but they were just kind of like, it's here. It gave me vibes like the Super Rush, the title and everything gave me vibes of the Mario Tennis on 3DS. It wasn't very well received, and it was all right. I played it. It gave me vibes of that. But
here's the thing: you have an RPG story mode. That's like the Mario Golf on the Game Boy Color that everyone loves. But it also has Speed Golf, which just looks like so much fun.
Sounds wacky, yeah.
It just looks like so much fun, and I can't believe a golf game hasn't really. I can't really think of a golf game that's implemented that really, and not at least not in that way. I don't know. A lot of it is gonna, I think, rely on how many courses, how varied they are. A lot of that. I mean, Mario Golf on the N64, which is one of my favorite games on the N64, really doesn't actually have that many courses. So I mean, you can get away with probably doing you could theoretically get away with only having 6, but I would hope that they would have more. I would, maybe it would be nice to see them embrace DLC for it. Add more courses, like what they probably should be doing with Mario Kart 8. They should still be adding stuff to that, because that game is still selling. I think it's sold. It sells more every year, which seems impossible. I don't even know how
a lot of Switch games are like that. Yeah. I don't know. It is very weird. That's never happened with any other Nintendo game besides the Switch game. I mean, Mario Kart, I think, and Animal Crossing both passed 30 million.
Animal Crossing is going to beat, like, just by the trending sales, it's going to surpass even Mario Kart 8, which is wild.
Oh wow.
Which is wild to think about, Not even a year on yet, we can already be like, yeah, that game's gonna get a sell better than Mario Kart.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
it's crazy. All right, what else?
I'm really looking forward to that. I think it looks very fun. So
yeah, I've honestly never played Mario Golf ever that I can really remember. I've Toadstool Tour. I still haven't played it though. All right.
See, I like it. Well, the only problem for me is that it's like it looks so fun, but the thing is, I want to be able to play with people, and I feel like there's not a whole lot. Because I don't know how it is for you guys, but like Wii Sports in like my family, friends, like circle, that's almost like Monopoly or Life, or you know what I mean? So like when you go and play like a golf game with people, that kind of like motion controlled game, everyone, it's the Wii Sports Golf always. So I can't see any of my friends wanting to go play that over Wii Sports. So that's the only thing where it's like it looks awesome. I just don't know if like I'm the right audience for it. That's the only thing. But besides that, I mean, the actual game looked really awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it looked like a lot of fun.
I just remembered there is a mini golf game on Steam where everyone is shooting at the same time. I remember that. And
that sounds really cool.
And the courses are ridiculous. The courses are just like completely outlandish.
Well, I've seen. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. The one where it's just like you control the ball, kind of. And there's
you basically just control the ball. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, but it's not like it doesn't work the same way as it does in the they showed in the trailer, which I think just looks really fun. So
yeah.
Anyway.
So what else? So I feel like there were a lot of announcements that just poured in there, where it's like this game's coming to Switch.
It's a cool eShop kind of game. Who cares,
And
I didn't really care. Like Ninja Gaiden, it's like, okay, cool, that's nice. It's probably going to be out on PS4 and Xbox One also.
And you're probably not going to buy it. You're going to be like, oh, it looks kind of cool, and then
your video's gone, by the way.
Oh,
there it is. There you are.
Jesus.
All right.
How do you feel about World's End Club? Are you excited for that, Alec?
It looks okay.
It was so weird how they presented it. It was like from the creator of Zero Escape and Danganronpa. And then it was like they're gonna play a game of Fate, but then the game is canceled, and then it's just a platformer adventure.
I don't know exactly. I mean, those games do an interesting job with like meta sort of commentary, from what I understand. So I mean, Zero Escape, to definitely to an extent, has a little bits of shades of that. So, I'm hesitantly optimistic. I do think that the platforming stuff looked very dull. Kind of worries me.
Well, that's why I thought it was weird.
I would be willing to. I'd like to see more of that before giving like any sort of real judgment. If Ushikoshi is writing it again, though, he's amazing. He's a spectacular writer, and he's proven himself time and time again. So I'd be willing to get it on that name alone. If he's involved, you just said, because you did said Zero Escape and Danganronpa, those are two different. I know Spike Chunsoft does both of those, so I'd have to look into see if Ushikoshi is involved or not. But
yeah, well, it's like when I heard from the creator of Zero Escape, I was like, okay, I'm in. And the sound of when they said it's a game of Fate, I'm like, all right, that's the kind of Zero Escape thing I like. But then it was like it's canceled, and we're just gonna go on an adventure kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The one that looked more interesting to me was that neon white. Was it
Neon
called?
White, yeah.
Neon White. The card, it's like a first-person shooter, card-based first-person shooter.
Yeah.
I thought that looked wild and fun, interesting. I mean, it could be. I've never seen anything like that before, so interesting.
Me either, but it's also one of those games I probably would never play.
Yeah, I definitely would.
I'll be like, that's neat.
Kind of a weeb type game. It's right up my alley.
Is it?
Yeah, I like games like that. I'm trying to remember what else there was. Oh, what about the DC Teen Girl Squad, whatever the heck that was?
Let's give a shout out
I'm
to DC Superhero Girls Teen Power.
Horrifying.
All right,
by the way.
I got something I got to talk about. Okay.
Oh boy, here we go. He's
so
on his soapbox.
Here's my little rant that we all knew Breath of the Wild 2 is in development. We all know this stuff. We all assume we're gonna go get that trailer. And the way they started their Zelda conversation
E3, it's gonna be E3.
E3.
Oh, it better be. Oh, Alec, if it's not E3, I swear to God, I will never talk to you another day in my life.
I don't blame you. No, but like it has to. I mean, like I'm okay. I'm okay with them not talking about it. Keep working on the game. Keep working on that game as much as you can.
I like how he came out and was like, oh, you're probably expecting to hear something from Breath of the Wild too.
Yeah, right.
Well, but we're not going to.
Well, this is the part that is so gosh darn terrible, okay? That they announced,
ding dang terrible.
There's two parts of this. So they announced Skyward Sword HD, which is terrible for two different reasons.
Okay, it's not.
Because it means Breath of the Wild 2 is not coming out this year. And if that's the case, that is a can I swear? Do you guys do that or not?
You can, sure. That's not coming out. It's coming out in June.
That is it's a fucking joke if Breath of the Wild 2 does not come out this year. I mean, I'm sorry. That's
why
so laughable. Well, let me make the other point, then I'll say why.
It's probably their winter 2021 game, is my guess, but
it better be. But
it better not come out this year.
Well,
I just delay it. Yo, okay, so do you want a cyberpunk Zelda situation?
Yeah, that would be
but I'm sorry. Like, look at Fallout 3 to Skyrim. Okay,
yeah.
The difference in years between those two.
With his schlong out.
All these open world games, they only take 3 to 4 years for these more competent companies. So why is it that a Breath of the Wild 2 is only going to take 4 years? I mean, that's
not true. That's not true at all.
So ridiculous.
Whatever you just said is not. Whatever you just said is not true.
What are you talking about? It's not true. How is it not true?
Skyrim took like forever for that game to come out.
No, it didn't. Dude, Fallout 3 came out in 2008. Skyrim came out in 2011. That's only 3 years difference.
Yeah, but they have two. Yes, but they also have different segments of the team working on it at different times.
Skyrim.
Yeah. It does, but it doesn't matter. They still put it out 3 years, only 3 years later. Same studio. Because then you could say the same about Nintendo. Then why don't you just have another team in development in the game beforehand? You know,
then you have the instance of Cyberpunk, which is a huge open world game, where they were developing that for effectively in full development from 2.5 to 3 years.
Yeah,
not nearly enough time. They needed at least another 2 years for that game, basically.
But I mean, the thing is, Breath of the Wild 2 is not that next gen game.
No, they have a foundation. But we don't necessarily know what they're going to be doing with that. We don't know if they're going to reuse the world map. We don't know if they're... I mean, we could even have like a Dark World situation on our hands, for all we know, where they would have to basically create a whole other world map.
No, I mean, like, I get it. I just think that they just don't put these games out nearly quick enough. Because even... Okay, I know
Nintendo Nintendo isn't that big of a studio. They're really not that big in comparison to a lot of major studios. They maybe have like 150 people working on this game, maybe 200 people, which is like you look at Capcom, which has like 1,000 employees or more.
Yeah.
You know, it's really not that. In comparison, they're a fairly small company.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, my only beef was that happened, and then on top of that, Skyward Sword HD being a thing. When the rumor was that it was going to be a Zelda collection of Skyward Sword, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess, that made me disappointed. That wasn't their fault. That was the rumor thing.
So you get with rumors.
I mean, it doesn't mean I'm not disappointed. You know.
Look, I think
so. That's the only thing.
Yeah, look forward to that being $60, by the way.
That's the one.
Yeah, oh, I know.
Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna
buy it. I'm a shill.
That's the one thing you need to hold on to your Wii U for is Wind Waker to play Wind Waker HD.
That's the only reason why I have my Wii U still.
Yeah,
I have. Let's see.
Everything else coming to Switch.
Well, besides Smash,
Twilight Princess HD also.
That counts. HD.
Yeah, said that.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be ported eventually. You know what makes me feel
Wind Waker
old,
probably
by the
will
way?
be too. So here's the thing. They didn't. So they announced Skyward Sword HD, but they didn't announce any 35th anniversary things. I almost wonder if they're gonna wait until later in the year to do that. To do like what they're doing with Mario right now.
Right.
They do kind of an end of the year wraparound thing. Maybe then. I mean, this is just complete speculation. Maybe then they'll do a collection. Maybe then they'll have the DS games come out. I mean, we saw a 3DS port basically announced today. Miitopia was also announced, which was wild.
Yeah, but Miitopia is something else.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that but what I'm saying is that they already have that idea of like we can port some of our older games, basically, to like our high definition console, and they've diverted all the teams that were working on the 3DS library onto working on Switch games.
Well, yeah, it's like this whole Direct was like tons of ports to Switch, and like Switch has already been known to have like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, all these HD versions, yeah.
Captain Toad.
So it's just collecting. It was literally
Mario 3D World just came out.
People kept naming off all the reasons where it's like, all right, you don't need your Wii U anymore. They're literally taking everything, putting it on there.
Fire Emblem. I think I have sitting right over. Yep.
Yeah, honestly, what they got to do?
Yeah, we got Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. They're missing one though. They're missing Sonic Adventure HD. That's the only game they're missing.
Yeah, that's the game that Nintendo is missing. That's right.
I think Nintendo should just like do every game they've ever done.
Every
to Switch.
Well,
like
Mario Party 10. You still got Mario Party 10.
Mario Party 10 Definitive Edition.
Sonic Lost World.
Great game.
Sonic Lost World. Star Fox Zero. Star Fox Zero is a reason to hold on to your Wii U.
More like 0 on Metacritic.
Hey, shut up!
Paper Mario Color Splash is gonna come back for a Paper Mario collection.
Didn't they? Yeah. Well, no, don't believe that because that's where I got. I'm telling you.
I don't want that.
Yoshi's Woolly World.
No, that's not. It doesn't count because we have the new one. My fear was always that they'll do a Paper Mario like HD collection, and it'll be Sticker Star, Color Splash, and Origami King. It'll be the
Super Paper
trilogy.
Super Paper Mario.
Oh, jeez.
Well, no, that would be the good one. The good trilogy would be Paper Mario, 1,000 Year Door, Super Paper Mario.
No, I'm saying instead that they do the latter half, so they just have Super Paper Mario, then Sticker Star.
No, that's what I'm saying.
You have this weird Frankenstein. You have a weird Frankenstein of like you have got one good game, but it's still not the old Paper Mario games that we want.
I just think they'll present it as like Paper Mario, like the fan favorite trilogy, And it's like,
the fan favorite
Sticker Star, Color Splash, Origami King.
The real horror of that whole like situation is the fact that there's kids that are 5 to 10 years old that are growing up with those games just hating their lives. That's happening. That's the only game they get there for Christmas, their birthday, and it's like
the bad thing is that that's not true. They're actually grown up loving them, and then they're championing these games out there. They're like, we want more like this.
It's like kids. It's like kids that grew up with the Star Wars prequels.
And then they look at Paper Mario: The 1,000 Year Door. They're like, what the?
Are you
fuck
kidding me?
Except I hate them because they're.
I was gonna say, I know you hate. Like, no, they're art. It's high art.
Yeah, that's high art. That's for sure.
Anakin,
Attack of the Clones.
You were the chosen one.
Attack of the Clones is a.
You were my brother. I loved you.
I hate you.
It's Shakespeare.
It's dramatic.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
From my perspective,
George Lucas, 1999.
Oh man.
Anyway,
was there any other games at the? Wait, Splatoon 3.
Splatoon 3.
Awesome. I was like, I'm pumped for that.
The way they presented it, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? It's like open
world
Splatoon
happening. A much different game. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling that they probably are going to lean heavier into Splatoon 2 already started to do this, but I think they'll probably lean heavier into maybe a story mode, even more in Splatoon 3. They really like that whole world, and they've done really cool things with it. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. I know some people were like, "Isn't it too soon for Splatoon?" And it was like, "Well, when it comes out, it'll be 5 years since Splatoon 2."
I still haven't played Splatoon 2, even though I really love Splatoon.
I'm actually going to be probably breaking it out again with one of my good friends, who's a huge Splatoon 2 fan. I haven't played it in a while. I'd really like to again.
Well, one thing
I haven't gotten it yet, but I want to get into it.
I'm assuming there'll be ink everywhere in the new one. You know, that's what
everywhere.
I can imagine.
Ink all over.
Oh.
just Splatoon 3, too much ink.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else significant.
Oh, there was Apex Legends. You gotta shout that out.
Oh, there was that weird dodgeball game that looked like Fortnite, the dodgeball game, and I was like,
that was
Knockout City.
The demo was not very good. Like the concept sounds awesome, but
that looks totally fine, and I'm not.
Oh yeah, as soon as I saw the art style I thought it was gonna be Fortnite at first, and then I was like, ugh, I hate that art style because of Fortnite now.
Yeah, I know, same. It's just so gross. Hey, Fall Guys is coming though. Fall Guys.
Yeah, I remember that
Ultimate
game.
Knockout. I've actually been playing it again. Some of the new mini games are pretty good. The winter mini games are all really good, actually. The medieval update they did before, hit or miss. Some of them are good. Some of them are just some of the worst games in the whole bunch. But
is there anything else from this direct worth mentioning? Star Wars Hunter, the free-to-play game.
The free-to-play card trader game.
I thought that was Galaxy of Heroes. I'm like,
yeah,
right.
I think it's a card-based game if memory serves. It's going to be a card.
I don't know.
So,
Super Mario themed items coming to Animal Crossing. I do need to play Animal Crossing again.
Same.
I feel bad.
I know my villagers are probably all gone.
Cole, I said we were talking about it before. He was like, should I get it? I'm like, yeah, you should get it, because then maybe I'll start playing again. It'll give me a fresh
I got a
start.
GameStop gift card for $50, and I think I'm going to buy Animal Crossing.
Good luck finding any games there.
It's a good, I mean, I went into mine, and oh my
there was nothing.
Really? I haven't experienced that at all.
Holy crap. It was like a freaking ghost town walking in there. I was like, what?
Awful. And there's like,
yeah, I know.
They had like stacks of Funko Pops, that's for sure.
Yeah, they got stacks of Funko Pops.
Yeah, but everyone's going into Dogecoin now. We're fine. Sure,
so like the thing that was wild to me was that I don't know if they just have like all their used games behind the counter now, but like it used to be just like a sea of freaking used games everywhere, all over the place. You'd walk in, and it was great because you could peruse through. But now it's like your tiny little PS4 section, your tiny little PS5 section, your tiny little Switch section. And I'm like, where are all the games?
It was pathetic. I was like uncomfortable being there.
I know. No, you walk into Best Buy and you see more games.
Yeah, I went to GameStop only because I had a gift card. I never go there anymore on principle. I just don't. I don't buy from there. I had a gift card. I was like, I couldn't find anything. I ended up buying 3 chicken nugget Funko Pops with my gift card, and I walked out.
Chicken nugget?
Yeah.
They look like chicken nuggets?
Yeah, there's a chicken nugget Funko Pops from McDonald's. There's like a firefighter nugget.
Do they have eyes or something like that, or is it like actually just a chicken?
Eyes.
Okay.
It's like, well, when I was really young, I was obsessed with chicken nuggets, and they'd have the little Happy Meal toys that were like their nuggets in different outfits and stuff. So it's what
I
they're
forgot
based
about
on.
Those.
But there's like a whole line of chicken nugget Funko Pops.
Oh my
now.
God, there's a whole line for everything.
Everything
and anything you could think of.
I went to GameStop. There's like nothing there, and then I go to Best Buy, and there's nothing there. There's a really miserable.
Wow. I'm always very pleased when I go to Best Buy.
The new like PS4, Xbox, Switch, like they have some games there, but then everything else, like I was looking for a CD. They don't have any music there anymore. Okay.
No, they purged that back. 2019 was when they stopped really selling CDs.
And then movies, they had like barely any movies. I'm like, what's good?
Yeah, movies. They've started to go a little downhill with that too. I think just because everyone's streaming or whatever. They still have a pretty good anime selection though. I always go there and just peruse, and they usually have some deals. So.
I went to Walmart and it looked miserable too. So I was like, what's going on around here? I don't know.
What's that?
I don't know. You'd think there's some sort of sickness
There
going
must
around.
be some kind of way out of here. That's what Zach sings the whole time he's in a Walmart. I mean, every time I'm in a Walmart, actually, to be honest.
Walmart's making me uncomfortable anyway, so regardless of the inventory.
Very true.
All right, so is that it? I mean, see, for me, there was only a couple of little notable things and a little bit of like, yeah, that's nice, but I won't play it. And then a lot of it was just like, these things are coming to Switch. Here you go, Fall Guys.
Oh, No More Heroes 3. That looks really good.
Sure, you can do little jobs to give money.
It's just like the other No More Heroes games.
I don't know how the games work.
Yeah. No More Heroes 3. I'm looking forward to it. However, okay, I do want to say a lot of missing stuff, and that's fine. You only really have to judge it based on what's there, but no Bayonetta 3. That to me is the biggest.
You can't give me crap for saying Sonic Adventure needs to be on the Switch and then be all giddy for Bayonetta.
Because Bayonetta is Platinum Games. Bayonetta has nothing to do with Sega.
I thought Sega owned it.
No, Sega refused. Sega refused to continue to publish them, which led Platinum to go to Nintendo for Bayonetta 2, which is why Bayonetta 2 came out exclusively on the Wii U for a very long time.
Is this what I think I got ratioed?
Yeah. So anyway, so Bayonetta 3 is supposed to be coming out for Switch. It was announced like 3 years ago, and where is it? I would like to know where it is. Apparently, according to Cameo, development's still going along quite well for it. So that's probably going to be another E3 thing. I would guess.
There was Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah, and that looks really good. That looks really cool.
Looks good.
I'm not a huge Monster Hunter person, but good for the people that are into that series.
It looks like it's almost starting to become like Breath of the Wild, though. It almost looks like that to me.
I don't.
Just in terms of like fighting monsters, you get new equipment to build from there.
That's been what they've been doing in Monster Hunter since
but it's
2005.
Way more open world now, though. Yeah, but it's much more open world where there's a lot more. That's what's different about this one, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think you're still gonna have to like select.
Really? Oh, I thought it was open. Well, because now it's not just go through the path of whatever. Now you can like climb and.
Oh yeah, you could do that in Monster Hunter World as well.
Oh, could you? Oh, well, I don't know.
But you still had to like. There's still like a hub world, and you still like selected like missions and things.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't guess that they would be doing a full open world game on the Switch.
Wouldn't that just be so awesome, though?
Maybe someday.
Yeah.
I think if every game were to be more like Breath of the Wild, the world would be a better place. You know.
That's kind of true, to be honest.
Honestly.
So Skyward. So why are we not hyped for Skyward Sword?
Skyward Sword happened. Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm hyped. Okay. I mean, it's my least favorite of the 3D Zeldas, so I'm not like, oh man, I got to go play it. I'm still gonna buy it.
I'm very excited for it. I think it's I think it's very harshly judged. And now more people will be able to play it because, and this is something that I can't believe. I didn't think about this. I was like, well, of course. I was thinking like, well, of course they're gonna have to use motion controls again. The entire game is built around that with the combat. You have to use it. And then
we didn't talk about this,
And then they were like, so what you can do is you're just gonna use the right stick. And I was like, okay, I've done this in multiple games. I played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. It's one of my favorite games, and that's how you use the sword in that game. Why did I not think about that until now? I mean, the Wii didn't have another like control stick, and I guess the whole thing was the raison d'etre for to use a little French parlance in there, but it was the entire reason of being for the Wii Motion Plus was basically for Skyward Sword. And
I think
now you don't have to use it because you got the right stick and you can play through the game that way.
They had to do that. They had to do non-motion control option because there would have been just rioting on the streets. It would have been outrage because
you also have a whole system where you can't do that on. They have the Switch Lite.
Yeah.
So.
And like
I just don't get.
But the fact I thought he was almost gonna just say it's gonna be motion controls again, and I was
I was
about to be here
too.
for it. I was gonna be here for all the backlash that we're gonna.
Me too, because I was like, you know what, I love that game. I think the motion controls work super well. I think it's probably gonna work pretty well.
Controls were good. Yeah.
I was gonna say it probably is gonna work even better on the Switch because you've got the gyroscopes have like 10 years of extra technology put into them. So, but now you don't even have to do that way. So that's kind of nice.
Realistically, if you were going to make an HD version, they had to do this because it's the biggest complaint they got from the game. You know, it's like then that's the biggest thing that'll get more people on board to play the game. You know.
Yeah. People will still be probably pretty critical because the game is very linear. It's kind of long. But I think I would argue that the story is probably the best Zelda story, like just in general. I'm somebody that liked the little. It was there wasn't like tons of story of Breath of the Wild, but I think it was the most artfully presented because it wasn't a straight narrative. There was a lot of flashbacks. You had the through narrative of the game, but then you had a lot of flashback sequences. And I thought the way the game handled that was superb. But I think in terms of just a general narrative, Skyward Sword is probably the best Zelda story. And I'm looking forward to going through it again.
I never beat it, so maybe I'll have to get it just to do that. I feel like an obligation now when these versions come out. Like, okay, I have to get this version.
Yeah.
Before I beat it.
So I still love Skyward Sword. I mean, I'm so excited for it. I mean, I'm obviously going to buy it right away. You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, They got me. I'll shell $60 out for it.
And you know what?
And guess what? I'm going to play with motion controls too. I'm going to love it. I actually never had a problem with that. I never understood why anyone complained about it. It's not people act like you got to stand up and do all this, do jump. Like you can literally just sit on your couch.
It came down to a fundamental misunderstanding of how the motion controls worked. People mostly were just buffoons who didn't know how it worked.
It's actually
completely
true. Even further to that point, they didn't understand how the motion controls were even implemented into the game, because they're like, the game never registers. The game never registers like the I'm pointing it all over the place, and it never is registering my sensor bar. And it was like, well, that's because Skyward Sword doesn't use the sensor bar at all.
Yeah.
It is all 100% used. The gyroscopes in the Wii remote is everything that's handled in that game. There's the one at the front and the one at the back, either in the built-in one or the attached one. That is all that controls the game, which is why every once in a while you have to hit up to sort of recenter yourself. And that was never really that. I never thought it was that big a deal. It happened every once in a while.
Yeah, that's with anything in that.
Really,
totally agree. Yeah.
In that kind of motion-based thing, is always some sort of calibration you have to do. But
yeah, I have to do that with Star Fox 64 3D. Just put it on something in order to.
Yeah. And so, Breath of the Wild was like my favorite Zelda game in a long time. When I played that, I fell in love with that game more than any other Zelda game. So I always thought it would be hard to go back to older Zelda games afterwards. But I did go back and beat Wind Waker HD afterwards, and I love that game. So I feel like I'll still love Skyward Sword too. But I also want to play Breath of the Wild again in anticipation of 2.
I want to go back and do everything that I haven't done in it.
The DLC.
There's still a lot of stuff. The DLC, there's still a lot of stuff I haven't done in Breath of the Wild.
That was the beauty of the game. It's like I beat it and put a lot of time into it, and there's still like a fraction of a percentage of all the stuff to do.
Age of Calamity getting DLC also.
True.
Which was very unsurprising. I kind of saw that coming a mile away. It's a Muso game. They always get DLC.
Holy Calamity Screaming Sandy. All right. Thank you for watching. That's it, right?
Yeah. I thought
I'm good. My phone's about to die.
It's a pretty perfect time. It was a good direct. It wasn't. Nothing was mind blowing, but a lot of really good things that made me very happy.
I take back what I said. I actually like the direct because I feel like I'm a giant freaking man baby. If I complain, I get
where's Metroid Prime 4? And it was like,
I don't want to be that guy.
They had to restart development on it a year and a half ago. Like, you're not going to see it probably for at least E3. That'll be the earliest I think we see it, if that. So that's going to be like an end game Switch game now. So
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to our podcast feed, like the video, follow us on Twitter at Tarqaron TWO. Oh, whoops, I did it all out of order. Hit the notification bell. And what video should they watch next, Alec?
I think you're gonna throw it to Cole. You're gonna throw it to Cole. I think Cole just. I think Cole's battery literally died. That's a shame.
Well, the video's messed up now. Bye bye.
They should go. Bye.
What other video?
Cole's battery died.
Okay, what other video would you recommend our viewers to check out?
They should go watch the video, our box art battles with Mr. Cole there.
Should they?
Medvec. Sure. They should.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he did just screw up the end of this, so...
All right, take care.
Yeah.
No salute.
Spend time with your family.
No salute.
Spend time with your family.
Spend time
and play
with
Nintendo.
Your loved ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cherish those you
play
love.
Nintendo.
Okay. All right.